Hello again. I'm gonna just give you guys a heads up on how I'm working my way up the trunk here. So we're gonna do a little bit of it. And this black piece here, this is not terribly tight, it's a little bit loose, and then I'm just constantly moving the plastic farther and farther up as I work my way up. So we're going to go ahead and get the wrench on there. It's important to get that first wrap as tight as you can. Now, in this video series, this is like my favorite, or I've made these larger trees a couple different ways. And I, been trying new stuff as I go along all the time. And so you're seeing my favorite way of doing this. There's no way I'm going to make videos on all the different ways. I have done it in the past, but another way to do this is to make the core of the tree and then to add the wires on in pairs of two. And that's really hard to explain. It's like you build a core, you twist it up and get all your kinks or your straight or whatever, how you're going to make the trunk, and get your branches started, and then starting adding more wires to the jig. But oh my, does that take a long time, and is a real pain in the butt. And I would, to make these trees, I love making them, but I gotta sell them, so I got the time to make them, and I would go completely broke if I did all my trees that way. So this is kind of the idea wise. And so we start in with the bouncy bouncy. And then another thing I do as I'm doing this is, you gotta watch out if you, I kind of twist up. Kind of give it a pre-twist, and you always got to keep looking for tangles up there at the top, because if you get too many tangles it makes it harder to twist down here. It's strange, the top, the tangles are hard to deal with, so I'm always kind of working my way up the tree and getting out tangles up there and giving it a little what I like to call pre-twist. Okay, now what I'm doing here, I'm just going to do it for a little bit. I might do it as much as a half hour on this one little twist, it depends. So I got a little bit of start going there now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen up my wrench a little bit, because there's no way I'll be able to move it up otherwise. I'm going to pull the wrench up. How far do I got there? Yeah, that looks about right. Now, reattach the wrench, get my feet locked into the stand so the stand doesn't spin. Okay, that's basically what I do to get this started. And now, I want to get some wrap on there, but there's no way I'm going to be able to do it, because I need two hands to wrap. And I got to keep the tension on the top of on the wrench here, because I want this trunk really, really tight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my head. Okay, I got one right there. I'm going to use my head to keep the tension on the wrench. I'm going to get in here with this red wrap. And I'll pull that pretty tight. Oh, I put this one on backwards, but I don't think it's going to matter. And okay, now I can let the tension loose on my wrench. And I can finish up with the red wrap. And then I'm gonna bounce on here some more. But uploading these videos takes a long time. I got a bad internet connection. I gotta drive over to the Super 8. And even with their fast connection, I spend, you know, an hour and a half sitting in my van uploading videos sometimes. So I'm gonna bounce it some more. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. But once I got it where, you know, with as much spin as I want on there, I'll go ahead and I'll take my clear wrap to lock that down there. And this trunk underneath there is gonna be real tight. It's funny because even my twisting up here makes the stuff down on the bottom a little tighter, and this wrap, because it's squeezing it, you know, it just keeps getting tighter and tighter and tighter. Because with this tree, hopefully I did my guesstimation right. If you make a tree that's too heavy and you don't wrap it tight enough, well, actually I'm gonna leave that on there, it'll get floppy. And I don't want to make floppy trees. I want them to last many, many years. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the bouncy, and I'm also gonna be pounding on here while I'm, you know, going at it with the wood stuff. And because it needs a little more twist to it right here. If you don't have enough twist in there, when you go to pull a branch, it's gonna make a weak spot in the tree. So I'm gonna bounce on that for a while. I mean, there'll be times when I'll be working up this trunk and I'll only get, you know, 8 inches out of there in a few hours. It depends on how things go. Sometimes things go better than they do at other times. But at any rate, there's that one. Bye-bye.